Don't niche down. In fact, if anyone tells you to choose one niche and stick to it when creating content online, run the other way because it is terrible, terrible advice. And I'll tell you exactly why in this video, because finally talking about whether you should niche or don't niche down as you start to create content consistently online. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Kume and I'm on the 100 days content creation sprint where I create an unedited and unscripted video to post to YouTube every single day. I've now been doing this for over 40 days and it's starting to get easier. I'm finding my groove, I think. And I want to finally talk about this elephant in the room. So when I first started creating content about 7 years ago for my business, even though I wasn't selling anything at the time, everyone said niche down. You're going to look at one area that you like to talk about and you're going to start talking about that area consistently. What nobody tells you is how much it is a bad idea. But I'm that person who's going to tell you, please don't do this. Because there's several things that go wrong when you niche down. And people rarely actually tell you the truth, the behind the scenes of when you actually niche. So let me be that kind person who will tell you what will happen. So you see, when you choose a topic that you're going to talk about consistently, usually people think about it in the short term. What they don't think about is what's going to happen if you've been talking about that particular topic for 5 years. Like, things start to feel very boring very quickly. You are saying exactly the same thing again and again and again. And there's so many ways you can say something, but eventually you will run out. And I think this is exactly what happened to me when I started creating content both on YouTube and on Instagram. Because I was talking about how to generate income, how to make money on Amazon, and over time, I personally evolved as an entrepreneur. I went from seeing Amazon as the end all be all platform to be on, and I started to grow into other ways to make money online, including monetizing my own knowledge, becoming a consultant, writing to get paid, affiliate marketing. And very quickly, that niche I had chosen for myself, because that was what I knew at the time, started to feel like a prison yard. You don't want your content to feel so boring and so lackluster because you yourself find it boring. Like, it's one thing for you to be creating content that you're doing to educate people, but if that content itself drives you to the point of wanting to hit your head on the wall or just pluck your eyes out, can you see how that is a problem? You want to be creating content that is interesting even to you and you are passionate about. When you niche down, that's at some point starts to get old. I think another problem I really figured out by myself, like, this is a mistake that I made, is when you niche down, people start to attach you to that particular topic. When you eventually outgrow it, or you decide that there are more things in the world that you're passionate about, it becomes like a handcuff you're trying to break away from, and people won't let you go. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at church, and as I was leaving, a lady I don't know, someone I'd never met, walked up to me and said, "Oh, you're that Amazon lady." And I said, "Yes," because unfortunately or fortunately, I had done such a good job of talking about Amazon that people start to associate you with your niche. So everywhere you go, you become that YouTube person, that Instagram lady, that person. And when you start trying to talk about different topics and create content outside of those buckets, people don't get it. They feel like, oh, has she become confused? Is it not working anymore? Or something must have happened, something big has happened. And that brings me to my third point. This is something I experienced, and that is the reason I'm telling you, do not niche, is when you talk about something else after niching down for so long, people just tune out. So when I first was talking about Amazon, I had grown an audience of people who were interested in Amazon. They were following for that purpose. When I stopped talking about Amazon exclusively, people started to tune out. Anytime I posted something about myself or about business in general, there was zero engagement. And I've heard a lot of creators talk about this, even entrepreneurs saying when you post about your business, if your audience is primarily your personal audience, they're not interested. And so I feel like niching down itself is a dangerous thing to do. Are there people it has worked for? Absolutely. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people that would tell you that was the way they were able to build a massive audience and grow a business and do a lot of things. And you would not find many people who said they've done it, doing it a different way. But I can tell you, as someone who has been down that road, that especially if you're a multi-passionate person, you will get stuck. And that is not a good look at all. So I want to end this video by talking about some of the things that I'm learning or I've learned recently. And that is the fact that you can create content and talk about the things you're passionate about, but your niche is not a particular topic. The niche is you. And that means that when the niche is you, you attract people who are interested in you and not the thing you are talking about per se. And that is part of the reasons I'm doing this 100 days challenge, as I find my voice, as I become a more confident creator, to find the things that actually spark joy in me rather than just for the income, but also to find an audience of people who resonate with me as a person, as a content creator, as an entrepreneur, than just for the information that I carry. And I think that in doing so, it allows you so much room to actually expand and be more of yourself online. And I think that when you are yourself in your content, you primarily attract a better crowd, people who are going to root for you no matter what. And when income starts to come in, you find out that it doesn't feel like work. It feels like something that you're having fun with. I think I also want to say that for a lot of the content creators that I've seen online that I admire are people who allow their uniqueness to shine through, their quirky sense of humor, their unusual mannerisms and personalities. And that is what makes them all the money and gathers the audience very quickly. So if you've watched this video, and you've ever asked yourself, should I niche down or not niche down? Both as a content creator, as an entrepreneur, my answer is 100% do not niche down. Instead, become the niche. Choose maybe 3 to 4 buckets of things that you like to talk about. I think even on this channel, you're beginning to see a trend evolve. There is the business aspect, there is the content, there is the faith and mindset, and there is also me as an immigrant living in Canada. And so that allows you, when you do that and you have buckets of different contents, well, people call it content pillars. When you have different content pillars that you can talk about and it still resonates with your audience, then you find out that you stop feeling bored. It allows you room to navigate, to talk about different things, to keep yourself excited and also interested in the content you're creating. I'm still at the early stage of figuring this being the niche thing out, I will tell you. But I think that so far, so good. I am enjoying it a whole lot more than when I talked about Amazon every single day until I was blue in the face. Because some of my content, I don't even have to have a script. I just sit down and I just talk. I don't even have bullet points. I'm just talking from the heart because this is lived experience. And just like this video, actually, I don't have a script. I don't have any points. I'm literally talking from my brain because this is more me. This is more what is going on in my mind, how I'm processing things. And so it comes across more natural. It doesn't look like you're trying too hard or that you're trying to be interesting. It's just you having a chat with a friend. And that is exactly what I think content should look like and feel like, both as a creator and as a consumer. But I would like to hear your thoughts. Is this something you'll be willing to try, to go completely outside of a niche and you become the niche and talk about the things that interest you and excite you and allow your audience to discover you and follow you as the person, the creator, and not as the topic? I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing all of your comments in the bottom area of this video. And until the next one, ciao, guys. I'll see you soon. Babe, let's go. 10 minutes on the dot.